mastermind in Canggu. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to SpeakuP Monday. Now, as you may know, 3+ years, I think this is episode 228, and we have a beautiful guest, my brother, Gil Petersil, a man who's tall, has an amazing beard, amazing human being, which I'll get to introduce in a minute. But for those of you just tuning in, so we have a live studio audience. We're here every single Monday, 6:30, come at 6 o'clock. Been networking first. 6:30 we go live, right? Now my name, if you don't know, is Robert Ian Bonnick. I'm known as a tourism architect. So for those of you who have been to Bali or haven't been here for some 6 months to a year, you'll know that mass tourism is no longer part of Bali's immediate history. So we are now into the stage what we call contribution tourism. Beautiful man like this who we're about to get into, it's about investment. It's about how do we create and how do we create sustainable solutions for this incredible place called Bali using tech tourism. That's blockchain, incubators, startups. That's cultural tourism. That's remote workers. It's already been pushed that by 2035, not very long to go, 2 billion people will be working remotely, and Bali is already a remote working hub. And I sit right in the middle helping tourism boards and tourism related businesses with tailored solutions for success, which involve a lot of the time collaborations with amazing men like this. So let's get on to our brother Gil. So we met, oh my God, was it 2-3 years ago? Something around
2 years ago when I got here, brother.
Yeah, brother. And I remember a mutual friend, Rhonda Swan, that some of you would know, had this amazing event, which was in Tabanan, my favorite place in Bali. And it was the first time that I met the king of Tabanan, who became a great friend of yours and a friend of mine afterwards, Erwan. And I remember this tall fella with a beautiful Canadian accent stepped off the plane, and I think I was talking before you.
Yeah.
That's right. And I brought the energy as I usually do, and then this guy came on after with even more energy. It's like, what the heck? Who is this guy?
After 5 days of a Tony Robbins event and a 25-hour flight to get to Bali, and then a 5-hour journey from the airport to the venue because it was a crazy storm, I needed you to wake up the audience before I showed up.
So since that time, I think I've emceed your wedding. We've become very close friends, mentorship level and way beyond. And I can truly say you're a unique man. I mean, come on, working with Robbins, all of the greats, always being this networking master that you are, bringing masterminds in, which, by the way, I didn't tell you, my first mastermind was about 35 years ago after watching Think and Grow Rich with Napoleon Hill, after reading it, and he was propagating the power of mastermind. So when I met you, I was like, right, Napoleon Hill.
I don't want to say I'm the next Napoleon Hill, but I do believe in him and I do quote him a lot, you know.
Yeah.
We need to understand that the collective genius is there for us to tap into.
Absolutely. And then, you know, I love the way that you embody collaboration for the greater good. I love the way that you're available to people of all levels, of all societies, of all times and tales, and I don't know when you sleep, and how you're such giving of your time, connections, and especially the intellect that you have, an amazing intellect, which I love. So everybody, let's give Gil Petersil a warm round of applause. Welcome to SpeakuP Monday. Woo! Woo!
I love sleep, by the way.
I love
to chill. I love movie nights with the kids. This weekend, I play around with Truffle Popcorn. Anyone in the house? Ooh. Truffle Popcorn, created at home. Thank you very much. Mwah. Not for the kids, just for me, for the after party. Absolutely amazing. In front of the fire, come on, you gotta chill.
You know, like, one of the questions, by the way, this is a Q&A, though you'll be mistaken, it looks like two friends hanging up and catching up, which actually is what SpeakuP Monday is really all about. Even though you may or may not know each other, you know, 227 people have sat right where you are now, and we've had some incredible conversations. So, but the first thing that pops in my head, you know, is you know, a young Gil Petersil. I mean, everyone who's here knows you to be this dynamo of energy, this insightful, beautiful human being who's available to everybody, right? But were you born like that, or were you created like that?
Interesting question. Haven't had that kind of question. So definitely not born like that. So, born an introvert, like more than 50% of the world, and I never understood what networking was until my early 20s, really. But I could tell you that in my first 20 years of my life, I was the shy guy, didn't know how to talk to women. While until the age of 10, we were still living in Israel, I had 1 or 2 friends max at any given point. Super shy, super introvert. Networking is something I had to learn by force. It's something that, and this is why I could teach it today, which is why I understand people. I could put myself in other people's shoes because I get the fears and the challenges and the constant uncomfortable position that we put ourselves in, and we could choose. I chose at one stage to constantly put myself in uncomfortable positions because I knew that at the end, I'll get the girl, I'll get the investor, I'll speak to the mentor, I'll get an upgrade and somewhere, I'll get the stewardesses to say, okay, come to this seat. I'll get someone to give me that seat at the table, at the restaurant because I want to. Networking has just empowered me to show me that networking is just a set of hacks. It's a set of habits that we can have throughout life to make our lives easier and better.
And I get that. But here's the thing, right? So everyone is watching now, including me, is like, well, okay, so I get that it wasn't created. I get that you stepped out. And by the way, I'm an introverted extrovert as well. Anyway, but here's the thing. So you said that you knew that if you stepped out and continued to step up beyond your comfort zone and learn and got comfortable being uncomfortable, that you could get the reward, you could receive all the fruits. But how did you know that? Because the first time, it's not something that you could have possibly thought of. You know what? If I make myself uncomfortable, I reckon I just might get all the fruits.
Yeah,
how did it happen?
I didn't really know, but I had no choice. At the age of 10, you're leaving the country. You left Israel in Canada, new school. If I didn't try to talk to people, I wouldn't have friends. I understood that minimum part. I understood that, and I changed school 3 times because I was a very bad student. I got kicked out of schools. So if I didn't talk to people, I wouldn't have anyone to talk to. If I didn't try to break whatever language I knew at that stage, I wouldn't be able to ever build relationships. And throughout my life, it keeps on coming back. This need that I have inside of me to connect with others, this kind of strong force to make someone feel comfortable when connecting with me, this energy that I feel that I can make a difference in your life if I could only connect us for a moment. And it's something I learned from repeat, trial and error. A lot of trial and error, ladies and gentlemen, a lot.
I know you well, right? So when you said to me just then, I got kicked out of school, I want to know why, man. So what were you bad at school?
I was just a troublemaker. That's it. It's another conversation for another time.
Yeah. Everybody wants to know, right? George, you want to know?
No, but hold on. I could tell you that I believe I was a troublemaker because I wasn't able to fit into school. Because I didn't have a language, so I didn't speak English or French at the time in Montreal at all. I was a troublemaker because teachers couldn't give me attention, and I still have dyslexia till this date. But back then it was really bad, and I didn't know how to deal with it. Yeah. Today I know how to deal with it. Today I can listen to books. I don't have to try to read books. But back then, when the teacher says, "Read this," and I barely speak any language, and I can't go through 5 pages, you become a troublemaker because you want attention. It's kind of so today, by having kids myself, being a father of 3 kids, I understand what I was like when I was younger and why I got into trouble. I was a troublemaker. Yeah, definitely. But I think it's okay to be a troublemaker. That's how you stand out.
The spirit. That's how you stand out. That's how you gain this sense of self. You push the button, you push the barrier, and you find how far you can go.
I was a troublemaker in the corporate world, and I stood out. The CEO of the company that I was working in noticed me because I caused trouble.
I love that. I love that. I never asked you that one. That's a little gem that I'm going to keep back for another private conversation. So look, one of the first experiences, because some people here might be watching saying, okay, I'm an introverted extrovert. I get it. I know that I have the ability to attract people, attract resources, attract the solutions that I need to have some great successes, right? But I don't really know how to start, right? So give me some inspiration, Gil. Like when was the first moment of consequence that you remember saying, you know what, that worked. If I can do it again, I can do it again.
It's difficult to think about the first moment, but I could tell you that since the age of 13-ish, I've been a experimental entrepreneur, where I liked making money. I enjoyed finding something that people need and selling it. For most of my life, it was product, and then only in recent years I became very smart and it became service. I like service. Products were good, but back then, the idea of learning how to get your attention, and networking is really about attention management. Can I keep your attention on me for a period of time? Can I keep my attention on you for a period? Most of us are really awful with attention management. We're talking to a nice woman in front of us, and suddenly we see another one behind her, and we start looking at her while talking to her. And most of us are holding our phones. Imagine that. You're talking to someone, serious person in front of you, and suddenly your phone vibrates. What do? You forget about this person, and you start looking at your phone. You don't even say, I'm sorry, give me 1 minute. You just, attention. Yeah. So I think back then I understood that if I can get and keep someone's attention, they will end up buying a product from me. And back then, my first business was selling like audio cassettes. Back then it was interesting that if they're still here in front of me after 2 minutes, they're buying. You're not walking. You would have walked away a minute and a half ago. And I understood back then that back then I didn't understood women at all. Women, I only started understanding my early 20s. But I understood women from speed dating. So in my early 20s, I moved from Canada to England. And again, no friends, brand new industry, banking industry, no connections. And 5 minutes in speed dating is what you get with women around the room that someone has organized. And I understood that if 5 minutes, if I can get her to show interest, to keep my attention on me and not look at the other guys in the room, if I can keep my attention fully on her and show curiosity. Curiosity is, to me, number 2 rule of networking today. It's really the ability to compliment, to see beauty, to see something amazing in another human being, to show curiosity and to understand, to follow up. Those are my 3 rules of networking. I could break it down for a corporate leader, for an entrepreneur, or a kid. And I've done it for all 3 thousands of times. And back then, in 5 minutes with a woman in front of me, again, I did it hundreds of times. Well, I did it dozens of times, speed dating, dozens and dozens of times. I was single, didn't know how to talk to women. So having 5 minutes with hundreds of women, you start to learn about these tricks, about what questions you can ask a woman that will allow you, like me, to keep my attention on her, because the answer would be interesting. Mm-hmm. It's not a random conversation. Mm-hmm. So you start picking up these really powerful questions you can ask a human being that would get the human being to open up to you, to get the human being to say, wow, that's a unique question. Thank you for asking. Like the why questions. Not what do you do, but tell me, why did you choose to do what you're doing these days? Like a question that's completely different than what they're used to. But it's a very simple question. Not asking me what they do, but what do you focus on these days that really gets you up in the morning? It's a completely different question, but it's the same thing. It would get you the answer. Like instead of asking a woman in a nightclub a random pickup line, I used to ask them, what's your story? Completely random, right? What's your story? But what's your story got me more results than ever before, because the answer could be whatever they want to tell me. I didn't need to know what they do. I didn't need to know where they're from. What's your story? And it worked out. It worked out. Wow. So that's how I got myself in and out of really uncomfortable situations and picked up along the way ways of connecting with human beings, because I always found it very difficult. And I didn't believe to my core it should be difficult to connect with other human beings. Because till this date, I'll say this very, very openly to anyone I meet, whether you're religious or not, the biggest gift God has ever given me, maybe us, is other human beings. It's the biggest gift, like the biggest. So I'm supposed to connect with them and look for them and help them and get to know them. It's like a gift. Like, why do we eat food? It's also a gift. Why do we like animals? It's also a gift. But human beings, it's like the biggest gift.
So then those people watching now, thinking about networking and so on, like, so what are, in your opinion, would you say are like the 3 biggest blocks that people have to go through to get to the other side? And then on the other side of that, which you've just mentioned, but reiterate maybe, 3 kind of great ways to open up a new person. By open up, you know what I mean? As in
let's do one question at a time. Remember, dyslexia, ADHD.
Right.
Let's stay focused. Don't overcomplicate things.
Right.
I never liked exams in school. Too many questions at the same time. One question at a time.
All right, 3.
So I got that. I'm with you. So first of all, it depends on really who's listening. So the audience here and the audience at home and the audience there. If you're an entrepreneur, your biggest challenges with networking is I got to build my team. I got to find investors. I got to find mentors. I don't get those 3 things done. Forget my idea. It's worth nothing. Most entrepreneurs keep the ideas to themselves until they're ready. Wait, I'm not ready to share. Blah, blah, blah. The most important thing an entrepreneur needs to do is share his ideas with other people. Be as strategic as you can with who you share it with, but share it with other people. Look for the right people along the way. Yeah. If it's an entrepreneur, those blocks is trust. Like, should I trust this person? Are you going to steal my idea? It's not your idea anyways. It's the implementation, the execution that's going to be in your hands. But trust is a big thing with networking. Can I trust this person to open up to them, to connect with them? Number 2 would be just this simple human being fear. Number 1 fear that all human beings have is not being burnt alive. It's not drowning with the sharks all around us. It is speaking publicly or public speaking. So public speaking for me was a massive fear until my early 20s. In my teens, I used to throw up in school, seriously. I used to literally throw up in school when they asked you to do a speech in front of the class. Every time, not one, every time.
Not in people's face.
No. I used to do it right before the event, and I used to then show up in front of the class all white, and the teacher says, "Are you okay?" I'm like, yeah, I'm feeling okay. I'm feeling better now. So public speaking or speaking publicly, even going out to an event and networking publicly, is a massive fear that most people have. Entrepreneurs and all the rest as well. But again, I think these fears that people have, whether you're a corporate leader that needs to present something to your boss, so you need to, give feedback to your employee potentially, that people don't always want to be confronted. So this idea of coming up to another human being that we don't know or we do know, in a position of, I need you to trust me, or I need to confront you. I need to ask you for help. I need to ask you for advice. I need to want to connect with you. I want you to see me. I want you to see me as a massive fear in the eyes of people. Because think about how many of us men, when we were younger, we just wanted a woman to see us. Because we saw her on the other side of the room. And all we wanted is for her to see us. And walking up to her was very, very difficult. Same thing in the world of investors. When you're sitting in front of an investor, a potential mentor, are you willing to ask the right questions? Or you just want money? Are you willing to try to connect with the person to make sure that there is a bond, there is some sort of an alliance, there is some sort of a synergy between you? Are you willing? Are you willing to tell them what you've done wrong? Are you willing to be vulnerable with someone in front of you as a potential mentor? In order for them to connect with you, you got to choose to be vulnerable. You got to choose to say where you've messed up, where my successful failures have been. As a serial entrepreneur, I've had 23 companies. I've had a lot of successful failures. And I call them successful failures because that's exactly what we do in networking. We need to fail in order to get there. And I think the idea of failing forward is always knowing that if I didn't mess up with so many different women in different bars and in different situations, I would never have walked up to that beautiful, stunning blonde wearing a white dress at that bar on a Thursday evening 11 years ago, almost 12 years ago. I would never have talked to her because was never confident that way. Because of my practice and failure.
That's Gil's wife, Katya.
Yeah, today she's my wife. That was my...
In case you're wondering.
I was going to say that. You took that punchline. Yes, so if I wouldn't have the guts, she wouldn't be married to me today. But it's the same thing with all these other people that we might see and want to connect with. If we think about these business people or these business partners or mentors, investors we have around us, in some cases, someone introduced us. But in many cases, we just maybe walked up to them or we saw them in an event. So it's getting over all of these challenges and fears and what's going on in our mind. The mindset is the one thing that stops us from networking. And then looking forward, understanding that, one, if I want to connect with you, all I got to do is like you. It's very easy, very simple kind of tip for anyone out there. If you want to make a potential relationship long-term, sustainable, you want it to last, like them by default in the beginning as often as you can. Yeah, I could judge you, and yeah, I can criticize you, and I can tell you what's wrong with you, and it's very easy to tell you what you're doing wrong in the business, and it's very easy to tell you, oh, you have some food here, or you have some green in the middle of your teeth. You know, it's very easy to tell people something that might embarrass them, or it might make them, not open up. But it's so much easier to even in your head, ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about complimenting people in your head. Just in your head, mindset. You don't have to say anything. This person is amazing, tall, handsome, confident, strong voice, looks like a person that wants to add value. Let me connect with this person. Just in your head, whatever compliments. Let's try to do this right now, but everyone in the room, look around you, and you at home, whoever's listening at home, look around you wherever you are, seriously, or close your eyes if you have no one around you, and compliment one, at least, other human being in your head. Look around you, all of you, look around you right now. I'm serious, don't look at me. I know I'm good looking. Look around you and compliment in your head one other person. Literally, don't say anything. Only in your head. Compliment, yeah. And if you're at home listening, look around you right now and compliment one other person. And it's such an amazing practice that if you do this every single day, one, you'll gain a lot of confidence. If you're a person that likes everyone around you, people will like you. Very cool. Number two, if you start complimenting people by default in your head, you will learn how to compliment people by actually using your voice. Most people are not comfortable to say something nice to other person unless they know you very well and it's like, wow, nice jacket. It's just not easy. Some women do it, oh, nice dress. But sorry, I've learned this from women. Women have said this to me. Most of the time, it's unauthentic, and it's just something that someone has trained them to do. Oh, wow, beautiful dress. I say it because I mean it. I really like what some people wear. It's great. Why would I say it if I don't mean it? And when you start saying it constantly in your head, it starts coming out of you vocally when you really mean it. Yeah. And when you understand that you can compliment people, what comes next, which is what I mentioned before, is this curious mindset. Now that I like you, I want to know more. Now that I like you, or now that I think you're a cool, tall, handsome guy, I'm curious. What do you use this voice for? What do you use this creativity for? What do you use your energy for? It's really interesting. So tell me, where does this energy come from, and how do you apply it in your everyday life? That would be the kind of question that would come out of me. And this is not a question that's scripted. Yeah, I'm not giving you my top 10 questions. I'm just, questions should come out of it naturally. And the third thing would be this ability to be like nature and follow up. Nature is something really, really inspires me, because nature is constantly following up with nature. Whether you know it or not, all nature that is around us, pretty much, all it tries to do all day long, get sun and water and connect with other nature. All day long, their number one purpose in life for nature, let my roots touch the roots of another piece of nature around. All day long, roots, underground. Why do you think these trees are so strong? Because they're strong? Because nature around it is holding it. Yeah, they're holding and supporting each other, which is where masterminds come in. The collective genius, being supported by your community, being mentors and advisors, an advisory board. What is that around you? People holding you, got your back. That's when I talk to my clients, outside of being an entrepreneur, I love coaching people. I love always asking, who's got your back? Who's in your network that's got your back? Because the ability to follow up is something that most of us are awful at, including myself. Just look at how many unread inboxes you have in email, Telegram, WhatsApp, Messenger, and you'll see, are you good at following up? I don't aim for zero, but I aim to outsource it to my team to help me to network. I aim to systemize it so I can network with more people, and by networking with more people, I can find who's my people now. And that's this magic that I think people out there, especially entrepreneurs who are trying to make a difference in the world, need to understand that if we don't connect to the other nature around us, they don't all knew it. These are not cousins or friends from high school. Why do you need to be friends with the same people? Maybe you can lift up a tree and be like, I'm big in gardening. How many people have a garden here? My garden is 90% edible. 90%. Now, I don't do all the gardening myself. I do 1%. But I am the visionary. I know what I want to see in my garden. I know that I want another papaya tree here, and I want to try to have some pineapple there. And what happens if we bring strawberries? Let's try to bring them in and plant them here and see if they connect. And if they're not happy there, my guy Yuda, amazing guy, if you need connection and Bali, let me know. He knows to take them out of there and maybe try to place them there in a different network. Because some nature really likes each other. They balance each other with water. They share the water around. They share the energy. Some leaves are so big, they take all the sun. They don't give any of the energy to the other plants. And some share it. It's the same thing with humans. And this idea of following up, this idea of when I meet you the first time, I don't need to sell anything to you because I believe I'll meet you again because I like you. Remember, first thing, I like you. Second thing is, I don't need to talk to you too much because if I like you, I'm going to see you again. So it's okay if we talk for 5-10 minutes. There's other people here. Rob, I really am enjoying this conversation. Do you mind if I get your number? I'd love to meet up with you another day. We both live here around the corner, you know. And Bali, how about we meet up? Because I really want to connect with my friend John. But what some people do, they meet someone at a party and they talk to them for 1 hour. And that's what introverts do. They talk to them for 30 minutes. But you came to a birthday party to meet some other people. Why do you got to talk to one person? Because I'm afraid of these other people. Because I already feel comfortable with you. And I don't know if I will ever see you again.
You know, like you touched on so many things there which are so powerful. Grab a water. A round of applause for Gil. He hasn't taken a breath.
Who needs a break? I go to sleep, I break.
I didn't take a breath. Not even a break. I was talking about a breath. Breathe, my brother. So look, here's the thing. The other people I know are probably thinking about you as well. What drives you, man? What drives you?
A lot. So at an early age, I learned that passion is something you could pick up along the way. You're not born with passion. I think passion is very beautiful and it could be applied in so many places in life. Definitely wasn't born with passion, but being in love with things or people has been fun. So like, I love cooking. So because I love cooking so much, I love eating. Like, oh my God, like, you know, like truffles, for example. Who loves truffles here? So I'm going for a 7-course truffle dinner on Wednesday. Imagine, and they can customize it to me. I told them what I like, what I don't like. Oh my God, like, so I love that. I love photography because capturing a moment is so beautiful. So you can't just capture a photo and not share it. That's not fun. So the passion around that is to be able to find a way to share it with others somehow. I love people. And because I love people, it'd be selfish of me to meet you, love you, but not share you with others. Right? I have to share you with others. So a big part of what drives me in life is this missions that I have. And one of my biggest missions for years now has been to meet the most outstanding human beings in the world that are still alive. Find a way to learn from them, like model them, learn from them, because I was a really bad student, as I said. Like, you know, I've read maybe 3 books my whole life, but in the last 3 years, I have listened to more than 1,000 books. Because I understood that I like learning. And there's a way to do shortcuts, you know, Blinkist, books in 15 minutes. You don't have to listen to the whole book. If you really like it, listen to the whole book, but it might take 7 to 8 hours. I don't have 7 to 8 hours, but in an average week, I will go through 20 books, which is really cool. It helps me connect. And this ability to connect with people and look for outstanding human beings and learn from them. I like to be curious. I want to ask them questions. What could I learn from you? Maybe you're my new teacher. Maybe you're my new mentor. Like, wow. And then see if I can add value to them. And adding value to them, one is being curious. Like asking people questions is a very easy way to add value. Giving them attention is just giving them 5 minutes of your time. focus, no phone, no people. So giving massive value to human beings. Being able to connect them with someone, introduce them to someone, that's like high level karmic management level. That's like, listen to Geshe Michael Roach, who wrote the book Karmic Management. Introducing two human beings together is massive, especially if you're coming from a good place. Yeah. Don't introduce them because you think they're going to kill each other, which I don't think anyone ever does. But also, it also should not stop you when introducing people. You don't need to look for the perfect match made in heaven. There is no need to say, I think the two of you will be perfectly married for the next 50 years. No, I think the two of you have some shared values, and I think you're gonna like each other. Why don't you just connect? Or like connecting two people, like I love connecting. I do this an average of 3 to 5 times a day. Bringing two people from your life in a WhatsApp group. I know you and I, we've done this enough together. 2 people in a WhatsApp group saying Rob and Brad, like just writing their names and then leaving a 30-second to a 1-minute voice message. Man, seeing the amount of people that have changed their lives or changed someone else's life because I have empowered them to connect, man, that's gotta drive you, Having 3 awesome kids drives me. I play with them all the time. Every day I find time in the morning, afternoon, evenings to hang out with my kids because they're young, like 5, 3, and 1-year-olds are fun. Seeing people ask for help really drives me. Like I met the Mason family through you a few weeks back, and because they were open to ask for help, which really inspires me, like, wow, good mission, good people, good family, willing to ask for help. Yeah, let's go. I could do something about that. And not everyone asks for help. Asking for help is really stepping out into an uncomfortable situation.
And the beautiful thing about you, one of the things actually is, again, you mentioned before, like the Masons, for those of you who don't know, Mason Adventure Park. So this is in Ubud, well, just beyond Ubud actually, in Taro, to be precise. So next week, 22nd and 23rd.
This week, on Sunday, if you're in Bali.
22nd, 23rd?
23rd.
Beautiful. On 22nd, there's something.
22nd, it's VVIP.
Oh, I want to be part of that. 23rd will be?
On the 23rd, we're going to have an amazing all-day event at the Elephant Park, doing something that's not been done yet before. The idea is to try to help them to create a sustainable income stream for this park, not to just look for donations every time. And I recently found out through your interview that you needed about $1,000 a month to take care of an elephant that's in a beautiful park, not necessarily in nature. So I thought, being very new to the world of crypto and metaverse and NFTs, if we can find different solutions around NFTing the elephants or the elephant's art or art of the elephants, I guarantee every elephant can make $1,000 a month. Yeah. And I committed to doing that within 2-3 months and start bringing in enough money for these elephants to live happily ever after and have babies.
That's right. And here's the thing, right? So, as you mentioned, after interview, because as you know me very, very well, I have this idea about great people need to be supported. And after meeting them and thinking, who is it that I know of in my network who would be able to listen and who are able to be able to come up with something that will not only blow their mind, but also get the job done and some. And that was obviously you. And I know I made a fantastic choice. But here's the thing. So people get an idea on how you think. So you were met with this situation, as you mentioned before, of this incredible elephant park, and the guys are going through a tough time with COVID, mass tourism, boom, business is gone. These elephants are in a very bad situation. They're in a good situation right now, but if they don't get food every month, they're going to be in a very bad situation very quickly. Now, how did your mind turn that situation into gold?
So, it's cool way of thinking. I can't do one thing. I don't know people who just do one thing. I have a lot of respect for people who have this one business and one focus, and some of those people are my clients today because they really want to diversify. And I think today we're in the world where diversification and being able to have side projects and being able to have, multiple focuses that you have. Maybe one takes more of your time. My family takes a lot of my time. My health, biohacking my body takes my time. But being able to give my time to a number of different clients, for example, that I have today, from being in the crypto world or being in food, being in jewelry, being in retail distribution, real estate. I love having clients that allow my mind to constantly think outside of the box. So because I've been in more than 10 different industries in my life myself as a business owner, I'm able to think very quickly about connecting the dots. Putting together an event is pretty easy. We've organized with my wife. We had an event company for many, many years, and we've organized over 1,000 events of all sizes, from 15 Japanese CEOs living in Moscow that want to connect to massive 25,000 people in front of Tony Robbins. It's like because of that, I understand that. I don't want to call it people management, but if you can bring people together, solutions happen. It's all about people, right? The team, getting connected. What is masterminding or master heart event? So I understood that when there's a problem, I don't have the solutions for elephant. I don't know. Elephants. I have no idea. But elephants are cool, right? Elephants are cool. I have kids. Why not save some elephants? It's like my kids will be very proud, super happy. The idea of NFTing them was one of the solutions my head came up with, but it was the most sustainable solution. It wasn't let's do an event and raise money and let's do an event again in 2 months. It's not sustainable. This one could be systemized and work without us. Yeah, and which is where this NFTs and metaverse and all that, everything that's happening in the blockchain space has given us. I'm not an expert in this, but I've invited multiple experts that would help us do it. I don't know how to take an elephant and NFT the elephant. I know it's possible. I know people who could do it. I know I could bring them together. All we got to do is feed them, let them feed the elephants, let them connect a little bit, talk with each other, follow up with them, and good things happen. And if it doesn't, we'll try it again in a different way a month later. And that's the whole idea of, I think being an entrepreneur is you don't give up. Perseverance, hustling, finding a solution to a problem has been fun for me. Like I really give me the biggest problem. That's why clients love me. They give me the biggest challenges they have in the business, the biggest strategy problems. Usually for me, it's like just connecting a few dots together. And I don't know how to explain that to someone else, but for me, it all comes down to people.
Love it, brother. So now what I'm about to ask, I'm laughing because the two things don't go together, right? But I have to ask it. And I think it will help people as well. So here's the thing. People now have got if they didn't know you before, they got a good handle on who your heart, your soul, your mind is all about, right? So now someone like you, doesn't look like you're going to wake up on the wrong side of the bed that often, right? It doesn't look like, shit, Gil's having a bad day. Stay clear of Gil today, right? It doesn't.
Ask my wife. I don't know. She would know.
Katya's next. But like, here's the thing, and it's a two-pronged question, because I know you love two-pronged questions. Not, right? Number one, what is your biggest fear? Number two, how do you overcome you when you're having a shit start to the day?
Okay, cool. So fears. Like my biggest fear is really something happening to my wife and kids. Okay. It's been, I've talked to Katya about it a few times. It's like a massive fear I have. And I think that's also me being sometimes a control freak. I want to protect them. I want to protect my family. Yeah. I want to know that things are okay, but also I've let go of a lot of things. So if like my kids fall and hurts himself, I look, no blood, look away. Look away, no blood, it's okay. If they see your attention, they want more of your attention. So I've learned that with humans, it's the same thing. So I'm working on those fears of, I hope to never lose my family, but it's something that I think as humans, we have to learn to deal with, loss of other human beings. It's a massive fear I have. Other fears I've had, I've dealt with. Like I used to have a massive fear of water. So I've organized some regattas in the past for like hundreds of entrepreneurs where I rented like 30 boats somewhere in the world. This is before COVID. And because I was the leader, I cannot be afraid of water. Like, hey, my kids were next to me, I was like, hey. Or like I used to have a massive fear of heights, and I still do. If I ever go up building, I feel my feet tingling. But I went to a Tony Robbins event, and we had to climb up I think it was like a 30 feet telephone pole, and we had to stand on the top. Yeah, and my daughter was watching me, so of course I had to go first. You know, it's like, hey, Daddy's okay. Yeah, and I was not okay. But any fear that I have, I try to kind of deal with it somehow. You know, oh, coconuts! Yay, my ladies and gentlemen of Bali, cut the coconuts off your trees if you have kids in the backyard. No, hey, I'm serious. This is a very serious problem in Bali. You will not find coconuts bigger than like a little grape, or like, you know, I don't know, big grape, you know, golf ball in my house, because a coconut falling like a foot away from my son was one of the biggest, like, wow. That falls on a kid. That falls on us as adults. That finishes you. You're finished. You're not going to the hospital. If that falls on your head, you're going somewhere else. So coconuts, yeah, but it's not a fear. Last weekend we went to a really beautiful hotel, and it had a massive piece of ground in front of the villa, and it was all coconuts. It was like coconut trees and coconuts everywhere. And I was walking with my son like this. Walk this way now? No, because in the morning in bed, I heard 3 coconuts falling. Yo, guys, this is serious. I don't want to walk looking up, but but that's the kind of fear. So not too many serious fears. I don't know if that's a fear. That's realistic. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, How do I deal with bad days? So first of all, I wake up in the morning, big glass of water, stretch my body like crazy. Today I had my first ever boxing class. Not big on boxing, not big on hurting anyone, not big on ever getting into a fight. I have no interest, but it made me sweat a lot, which was cool. Like I felt like I'm working out. It helped me with some coordination to hit the same spot ever. So it helps you with biohacking actually, so I didn't mind it. And also sometimes I was thinking, okay, do I have any frustrations in my business? So I hit them away. I hit all my frustrations away. But I don't tend to wake up on the wrong side of the bed because I love sleeping. Yeah. So I'm always waking up literally, I'm actually on the right side of the bed. My wife has always been on the left side of the bed, literally. So I'm always waking up on the right side of the bed.
What time do you get up?
Average 6:30, 7, kind of kids coming in, like, hey, Daddy, you want to do something? We're like, yeah, let's do something.
Sleep time, what time?
I don't know who does this, I love reading bedtime stories for the kids. And many, many times I'll just fall asleep with them. It's like 9 o'clock. Many, many, many times I'll fall asleep with them. I love it. Sometimes my wife will just let me sleep the whole night, which is like, wow. So I'm just like, hey, come, time to come to bed. Average night, 11 o'clock-ish, 12 o'clock, I really try. Yeah, I sometimes too. This weekend, I went movie binging. It was really amazing. I haven't watched movies in a while. It was great. That's where the Truffle Popcorn came in and some other snacks along the way. It was really wonderful. That was 3 o'clock in the morning.
Got it. Now, everybody, microphone number 3, Ichi and the guys who will come around shortly. I know that some of you have deep questions, right? Now, I've asked this man so many questions. This is our second or third time. 3 years SpeakuP Monday has been going. So,
I was number 69.
69.
At the last time. The ladies laughing,
And we're now 228. You can't make this stuff up.
228 is not that interesting, by the way. 222 would have been interesting.
So we've got a microphone over here. So just raise your hand and we'll get the microphone to you. I know you guys have got some questions. So another question that pops in for me. So now we've got a really good sense of what I love about you, mate, is that you're able to display this fun side to you. It's not all about business. You work with the biggest and best in the world, from Tony Robbins all the way through, but you're also able to smile, have fun, engage people, right, and be serious and create incredible strategies, have a kick-ass network, and share that network with each other to ensure we have things that absolutely
co-elevation. When we share our connections, we co-elevate within our network.
Beautiful. Love that. So then, the future for Gil Petersil, right? Whatever comes up first. So what kind of future would you like to see for yourself and then for the world at large?
short-term future, long-term future, you know, so
Whatever comes.
so the future is this year. 2022 is the future, you know. It's very, very. So for me, big part of the future, it's being a really good student of what's going on in the world of metaverse. 6 months ago, I didn't know anything about crypto. Really, I was not. I knew it existed. I knew about bitcoins. My wife had some investments, but I never did anything in there. Yeah. I love becoming more and more knowledgeable. So a big part of this future is becoming an expert and helping companies in the world of crypto scale communities. You know, a big part of what I do, networking is an essence of a lot. It's networking is something we need to teach our kids. Like, if you don't care about what I said today, teach your kids about networking. Ask my daughter what is networking, but ask her minimum 5 times. Don't just say, what is networking? What is networking? What else is networking? What else is networking? Ask your kids that. Teach them this, the importance of making friends and asking for help and asking someone for their name or being nice to someone, smiling at someone, little things like that a 5-year-old would answer me today. And for me, this is important because that is the future. So for me, learning more about how to help companies in the crypto world today, in NFTs, in the metaverse, to scale their communities, to become a lot more transparent, will enable the network to become stronger. I love teaching more and more kids about networking. So I was actually approached by someone a few weeks back that wants to write a networking book for kids, and they want me to co-author that. And I'm like, yes, I'd love to support something like that, because kids really need to know how to connect with other kids. They'll avoid bullying. They'll avoid any problems. A big part of the future is bringing more masterminds to the world. You know, you've been to a few of my masterminds. I love how masterminds have helped. Masterminds, I know for a fact, saved lives during COVID. Because during COVID, so many people were alone at home, where a mastermind, even though it was virtual, allowed them to open up their hearts, allow them to share, allow them to ask for help outside of their family, outside of their friends, with complete strangers. And sometimes sharing with complete strangers is the best way to wake up. It's the best way to spread your wings. So I love doing masterminds. We do masterminds pretty much every single month online. We do them offline here at least maybe once a month. We do something small, maybe dinner. We're going to have a mastermind dinner at the Elephant Lounge, at a mastermind lunch on the 23rd if you want to show up. We do mastermind lunches at the Royal Family Home in Karambitan to support the local villages there, to support them. So I believe that, and this is a big part of the future, because masterminds allow us to just connect with people and ask for help. It allows us to add value, and when we add value, we raise our own self-belief and self-value. And I think one of the biggest problems that we have today, it's not COVID, it's people don't believe in themselves. Yes. If they believe in themselves, they would know they can work from home, and they know they can make new connections. You don't have to ask yourself, oh, I don't have any connections in this country, so I can't go there. Do you know how many people tell me, I have no connections in that country, so I can't go there? I have no connections in this industry, so I can never do anything in this industry. Make connections. Look on LinkedIn, #1, platform for connections in the world, and it's so easy to see people and what they do and how to find them. And I really, really hope that in the future, I see myself as the #1 student of human networking in the world. I study it every single day. I have people around me that do research and give me the research, so I don't have to read too much. I like to read a little bit, or I like to listen. So I'm studying it constantly. How to scale communities, how to merge ecosystems. How do you bring your ecosystem with someone else's ecosystem to allow both your businesses to flourish? No need for investments in marketing. You can grow any business of any size from, top 4 consulting companies in the world have come to me, IT companies, banks have come to me, 3 governments have come to me, and countless entrepreneurs that are just starting now, that all they need to do is to understand, if I scale my community a little bit, I'll have more clients. If I merge ecosystems, I can use that person's resources. I don't have to only use my own resources. If I understand how my network defines me, I will audit my network. And a big part for me in the future is not just to become a constant student, but to have more people as students of networking. People don't study this topic.
No. You know what comes up? Remember, if you have a question, just raise your hand, right, and we'll get the microphone to you. This is another one of those questions that pops into my mind, and I'm like, anyway, but I'll always ask it. What if I asked you this, Gil, right? We're in Bali. we're surrounded by Trihitakadana, right? God, environment, man. If I would ask you, is there a deeper spiritual significance behind you and the work that you do, what would you say?
Is there? Yes, there is. That would be a simple answer.
Good. What is it?
So for years now, some of my mentors have referred to me as a light worker. And I really believe in the light that we have, and I can go super deep into that, but maybe it's not for the whole audience, but I believe that we're being of light, and if you are able to shine light upon others, you're able to inspire them, motivate them, wake them up in really, really beautiful ways. And I think the more light we shine, sometimes darkness comes back. That's the balance of life. So, some big speakers in the world or big important people in the world will have what's called haters. So they'll have this black and white kind of, influence in life. For me, the spiritual side is I know I'm a service of something that is so much greater than myself. And I know that I've been given these set of super uncomfortable situations in my life to make me who I am today. I know that I've had to go through more than 20 successful failures in life, near bankruptcy many times, in order to get to a position where I'm not afraid of not having money. It's completely okay to be broke. I learned how to cook gourmet food when I was broke, ladies and gentlemen. Broke. I'm in Moscow. I'm broke completely, no money, can't pay rent. You know what you have in back of your fridge and what you have in the top of your closet, in your cabinets in the kitchen? I learned how to cook that stuff. Things that you never use, they're just sitting there because, I don't know, you bought them or someone brought them to you. I learned how to use everything. And so I'm not afraid of rejection. I'm not afraid of losing in business. I'm not afraid of failure in an event. It's okay to have an event that loses money. It's happened to me. I'm not afraid of that. I'm just going to try to do it again. I'll learn from it. This is why after any event that we have, we right away have a debrief. And we don't criticize the event. We say, what did we do right? What can we do better next time? We don't say what went wrong. What can we do better next time? And what do we do now? Very simple 3 things that I ask my team. But this spiritual thing that pushes me forward is this ability that I need to serve. I know I'm a light worker. I know that I could do so much more with my life. I procrastinate sometimes, yes, I'm YouTube videos, But I'm off of social media almost completely. For the last 3 years almost, I spend maybe 20 minutes a week max as social media as me. I have a team that supports me to manage my social media as best as they can. But I think it's like, for me at least, finding this spiritual engine inside of me. I feel connected to the universe, God, whatever anybody out there wants to call it. For me, I feel that it's this drive to become stronger as a glue for other human beings. There's a reason I love connecting people. I love introducing people, and I love connecting them with a voice message because I see essence in the connection. I see more than just, oh, you guys could do business together. I see depth there. I also see that networking is a massive spiritual exercise. Networking is not business card, blah, blah. It's a very, very deep spiritual daily meditation. Daily meditation of looking at your WhatsApp and scrolling back 1 year and deciding, why have I not spoken to this person? And you could choose to take 30 seconds, close your eyes, and think of that person at that moment. What was that last time I spoke to them? How did I feel that? Wow, I felt really good the last time I spoke to them. Or like, they made me smile. They made me laugh. Like, I was inspired by them. Take your phone back and leave them a 30-second voice message. And you'll get it wrong the first few times, but trust me, after you've done it thousands of times, you pretty much start doing it 20 times every day. And if you do it for a minute each, it's just 20 minutes. And it's an amazing practice of meditation for others. So again, I mentioned Michael Roach before, who wrote the book Karmic Management. He wrote many, many other books about karma. Has said that meditation for yourself, cleaning your mind, not thinking anything is one thing. But meditation where you give focus and attention to another human being, give them health, send them prosperity, give them help, that in my opinion is much, much deeper. And networking is that. Networking is being able to think of them before you, like truly serve them, truly compliment them. Don't compliment them to hope that they compliment you back. Yeah. Most people are like, hey, nice dress. What do you think about my dress? I just bought that, yeah? No, don't ask them what they do so that they would ask you what that you do. Yeah. Don't follow up with them so that they would buy you lunch. Follow up with them because you're curious. Follow up with them because you want another reason to compliment them. Follow up with them because you know that there is a reason why you met this human being that's beyond your understanding. I believe, honestly, every single human being I meet has been sent to me by God, universe, you guys choose, has been sent. And in my masterminds, in all my masterminds, I say that depending on what the round of the game is, you are either playing a human or an angel. Every mastermind. And if you are the angel, then you are here to serve, which means give that human value. Don't wait back. Don't wait to like, oh, I'm going to give you value and it's my turn. Now you give me value. When it's time for you to be a human, we'll give you value as best as we can. And I truly believe that every single human being I've met has always come to me as an angel. And this is what I have learned about humans. Most humans don't believe they are angels. Most humans believe they are humans and they are limited, and we all have limiting beliefs. Most humans always put themselves in a human position, and that's why I always try to serve first. So, okay, if I gotta be the angel first, let me be the angel, but let me then ask you for some advice. Let me ask you for some inspiration. Let me ask you for some guidance, and I can empower you to be an angel for me.
Love you, brother, man. Always good. Always good. Always good. So any questions, beautiful people?
Angels in the house.
Very refreshing from the bottom of my heart.
So we have a refreshing from the bottom of my heart from Brother G. Anyone else?
One at a time, guys. Everybody's raising their hands here. Everyone, ladies, relax. Ladies, put your hands down. Let's get one question at a time. The beautiful men right there.
Here he is, Brad. There you go, brother.
We'll try to get all of your questions today.
So, you can name it. As a networker, obviously you're seeing value in people, you're making connections for people, and at some point you need to put food on the table. Being a networker myself, I know how hard it can be to sometimes monetize those relationships, and we both share a love of just connecting people and seeing the fruits of those connections. How do you, presenting yourself as a professional networker, how do you monetize or best monetize those connections?
That's awesome. So it's one of the top 3 most popular questions I've ever been asked, and I've been asked 1,000 times plus. How do you monetize your network? So first of all, I would never brand myself as a professional networker. I think that I am a student. In my best days, I would rank myself as a 7 out of 10 in networking, because I know how much more I need to learn, which means most human beings I meet are maybe a 2 out of 10 on their best days. So I'm not a professional networker. I've just been willing to fail at it more than most people, and I have had the honor to meet more human beings in different cultures than most other human beings in the world, because I've lived in many countries and I look for people in different ethnicities. In Bali, I'm very well connected with a lot of Balinese, a lot. I believe more than most expats who have only been here for 2 years. Yeah, so I look for that. The monetization is a different stage. The monetization is not about monetizing your network, but it's about seeing value in your network. So there are, 10 plus different ways that I can make money from a network. Yeah, asking for introductions, proactively saying, hey, this is who I'm looking to meet right now because of these reasons. Can you think of can you think about one person that you can introduce me to today? It's not easy to do. Do that with 10 people every day for 10 days. Guarantee that 10% will introduce you. Make the calculation, that's a lot of introductions. Yeah? See if you can handle that many introductions coming to you. I rarely have spent any money in marketing in years in any of my companies. Okay, so one, ask proactively for introductions. Number two, some people need to raise money. If you know some people with money, focus on them and ask the people with money, hey, you have money, who do you want to invest in? So I just recently, I'm still in the process of doing this with hundreds of investors that we know, and I can't do it by myself, so I've systemized it a little bit and asked my team to help me. How do I write 700 investors on LinkedIn? Hi, in many, many, many beautiful ways, following up with them from me, Gil, so it's my words and what's going on with me, asking them what's going on with them, finding out what they want to invest in, and if they want to talk to me further, going a little bit deeper into that. That's if they have money and they want to invest. If you can help someone raise money, you can always get money. Let's put those two things aside. Let's just say you're an average human being and you have a network. Monetizing a network is something we do whether you think it or not. We hire people from the network often. We ask for advice for people from the network very, very often. We get feedback. Feedback is monetizable. Yeah, getting feedback from 10 people about what you do is monetizable. Who wrote about, oh, Bob Dorff. Bob Dorff he co-authored a book called The Startup Manual. And the Startup Manual is a very, very big book. You don't read it from beginning to end. It's a manual to start a company. And within it, he was inspired and he wrote up another book, The Customer Development Methodology. I don't remember, I actually remember this, Never read the book. But I studied with Bob for many, many years. We are both co-professors in Moscow. And the essence of the customer development methodology is any business could be launched or scaled by speaking to 100 people that are potentially your customers. All of you have customers, you have potential partners, you have someone that would buy something from you. Guarantee that some people that you know are potential customers. You don't have to sell to them. Ask them for advice. I have never asked an investor to give me money for this company. I've asked them for their advice. What do you think about this company? Do you know people that might want to invest? Not you. I don't want your money, but what do you think? 8 out of 10 have said, wow, this is actually quite interesting for me. Like, can I get more information? I'm like, sure. But wait, do you know someone else? I didn't come to you. I don't accept their offer right away. So I think that asking people for feedback, honestly, authentically, because they can give it. It's not saying, oh, they'll give me feedback and then I'll sell it to them. If they give you feedback that's useful, do something about it and come back to them and say, listen, I took your feedback really seriously, made these changes. What do you think? Wow, I love it. Great. Do you know 3 people that you could introduce me to that I can ask for more feedback about this? You're not asking, can you give me more clients? Like, I personally don't like someone randomly, and usually it's happening I wish that my friends did this. I wish my friends asked me for more introductions. I really, really wish. I'm constantly asking my friends, tell me top 3 people you need to meet next week. Do you know how easy that is for me? You know who asks me for introductions? People who don't know me. Constantly, people who don't know me constantly ask me for introductions, but they don't say, I need some advice on getting introductions. They're saying, can you give me a solution? And my answer is no. I don't know you. I don't owe you anything. I will not give you a solution. I can give you advice. If someone randomly says, hey, Gil, this is my business. Do you know someone who needs windows? Really? Do you really think I'm thinking right now about give you connection? Or like coaches. I love coaches. As a coach, I sympathize with coaches out there. But all coaches are awful at marketing. They're awful at self-promotion. So I don't like it when a coach says, hey, Gil, I'm coaching people on X, Y, and Z. Do you know people who need my help now? I'm not going to introduce you to people now. But if you want, I can give you some advice on what I have done or what I would do in your position to find an endless amount of clients that will come to you. So I do monetize my network constantly. Monetization, as we're learning now in the world of crypto, does not need to be money. Added value. So 10 years ago, I launched Gil Coin. Funny enough how it's all happening now soon. I'm going to soon have my real. I literally launched Gil Coin. And Gil Coin is something I created when someone helped me. if you introduced me to someone, if you did something for me, I would say, wow, man, you got 20 Gil coins right there, man. Let me know if I can help you with anything. Well, I used to put it on Facebook. Look on Facebook 10 years ago. I would say, guys, I'm looking for an introduction for someone to help me with blah, blah, blah. I'm offering 100 Gil coins that could be utilized in these ways. I literally told people how they can monetize me, how they, like look, and it worked. People stepped up. People gave me value, and now I don't have a list saying you have 20 coins, but
You owe me some coins.
no,
man.
I don't. I never kept a ledger. That's where blockchain is going to help me. But that's where I think we should be able to monetize our network using the blockchain. I'm looking for this solution out there, and if someone is listening, it's got a solution, I'll help you. Yeah? I'm looking for these solutions. The way I've monetized my network is I asked them for help. I invited them to parties. Inviting your network to an event is the best way to monetize your network. They can give donations, they can help someone else, you can introduce them to someone else. I believe that the easiest and best way to monetize your network is to build karmic coins. Yeah? So I believe the universe owes me a lot. I've helped dozens of people get married. Dozens of people got married because of my wife and I. Dozens. You're supposed to get 3, I think, for Cupid to like you. I've helped, I don't want to say 100, but close to 100 companies raise money. Yeah? I've helped hundreds of people get jobs. I have no idea how many because I stopped keeping track of it a long, long time ago, but that's monetizing my network, in my opinion. I don't know if that helped.
Brilliant, brother.
If that helped, make some noise.
Yo. All right.
That's not convincing enough. Take me deeper if you want. Okay.
Gil, I've known you 2 years. Actually, met you the same night Robert did, actually, at that event. We were on
Two Poms at the same party. It's a good party. You should have been at the party, everybody.
Yeah,
Two
and
Poms,
met Robert at the same time. So, you've done all these amazing things in the world, and you continue to keep doing amazing things. If you wasn't doing what you was doing today, and for the future, what would you do to change the world as it is today for your kids' life, obviously, because the world's changing rapidly? And what would you do to change the future of other people's kids' life?
It's a difficult question because I asked myself this quite a few years ago when I was working with some clients that I didn't like, and I stopped like 5 years ago. I only work with people that I like, and I think that's one of the greatest things about finding this purpose in life is, for me at least, is choosing to be with humans that are amazing, choosing to be near humans that are outstanding, choosing to, rub off on other people who are doing great things. And I'm constant, like, we do a lot of philanthropy work in Bali with my family, from plastic exchange to royal family, now elephants, and we want more. And, the project, I do mentorship, I speak at a lot of universities. So I wouldn't do anything differently. I would do I would do things earlier. Yeah, if I could change some things around and be like, okay, Gil, like, listen, do that differently a little bit back then. Like, buy Bitcoin back then, things like that. I'd hack the system a little bit differently. I'd systemize a lot more. So I've been very manual, very controlling. I want to hold on things. It was really difficult for me to trust early on in the days. When I hired my first assistant, oh my God, guys, I haven't checked my emails in 5 years. You know how good that feels? Do you know how important it is for someone who wants to learn how to network to not manage their inboxes? It's really important. I can't. It's hundreds of messages a day that show up everywhere. There's no way that a human being can do that, which is why I'm waiting for the metaverse to be able to duplicate myself. So I don't need an assistant to do it. It could be the digital version of Gil that will be able to answer 100 messages in a minute. That's not a problem. That's the dogs coming to network. Yeah, guys, I'm coming to the after party after. The dogs want to come in for those who can't hear. It's all good. If I had to completely change my life and do something completely different, I would go deeper into food. I love the food industry, so my client is one of the leading companies in the world in plant-based ghost kitchens. So they want to feed the world without having to have restaurants necessarily. Food could just come to you. So I really believe in food. Second thing is education. I really believe there's something, not believe, we all know there's something completely messed up with the education in the world. Completely messed up. With 98 or 99% of schools in the world are completely messed up, and they should all go away. Schools should be there to network. It shouldn't be there to learn. Kids should learn at specific ages, 7, 10 plus, should learn at home. And then they should come to school to speak about it, to ask questions, not to sit there and listen to an old random teacher who most of the time doesn't want to be there, which is why I think COVID has been amazing to the world of education, especially for teenagers, because they can learn at home and then go to the school to network, go to the school to engage, to build masterminds, to build communities, to go deeper, not to sit at a table listening to the teacher the whole day and not understand what's going on. And even for my kids have not stopped going to school during COVID. It's been amazing. And my kids are young, 5, 3, and 1. And I think for those kids, they don't need school. They need networking. They just need to network with other kids and play and learn. And it's clearly my theory has been proven on 3 kids. Been proven how much they have grown, how much my daughter wants to learn other languages. She is 5. She's asking to learn other languages. Her 4th language, which she wants to start only next year, she said, I want to learn computer languages. She's 5 years old. She's already learning Russian and Indonesian Bahasa. She wants to learn computer languages. I didn't say that, And that's, to me, awesome. I would do education, more in education. Because now I'm mostly focused on adult education, but kids need our help. Maybe I'll do it in a few years.
Yeah, I think that's the most important thing for kids now is that education needs to change and the systems need to change, especially with what's going on in the world. So, hey, thanks.
Thanks for the question.
Beautiful. So, any more questions, guys? I feel one.
Ladies, we need a question from the ladies. Come on.
I don't have a question, but I want to compliment you really seriously because I think the word refreshing it was before it is really very refreshing to listen to you because it's part of my job and I see so much when it comes to video appearance, interviews, talks, and unfortunately most people are a dead shell, to exaggerate a bit, and I'm always very, very much just happy to see people that are so lively when they talk and they laugh, with themselves, so to say. And this is just a nice vibe and a really beautiful energy. So thank you.
My hack to that? So one of my teachers told me this when I went from speaking in front of 100 people. It's like 8 years ago. It was my biggest groups was 100 people. And I had to move from 100 people to 6,000 people. And it was really, really scary. And my mentor at the time said to me, try to compliment, because he knew that I was always talking about compliments. He's like, why don't you, as you walk on stage, compliment everybody in the front row? I was like, what do you mean? He's like, well, you talk about it all the time. You know how to compliment people, so compliment, go. It's like, okay, I'll do it. And that really works. So from the minute because today I'm still, as an introvert, and an immigrant since the age of 10, I still have things that are inside of me that are like, am I going to perform? Is enough people going to show up? Am I going to allow everyone to feel empowered? Am I going to inspire everyone? Can I deliver? Will I deliver? Will this be right for everyone? Can I give more? And what I've learned is that before I start to look at every single person and compliment them and see how each one of you is meant to be here, and each one of you will maybe share some of this with 5 other people or 10 other people in the next few days, and maybe that message will get to 1 million people. Like, that thinking allows me to just be completely happy and natural and be present here fully with you guys. So thank you for your words.
The emotional level is so called, what you do. That's just always working, I think. And so many people do not dare to do it because they just don't have the courage, because it takes a little bit of courage to do that.
It takes a lot of courage, and It took me a few hundred events. I've done, close to 1,000 events now where I spoke at or performed at, a few hundred events to be fully aligned with, yes, I am courageous and I will get up in any stage, in any country, anywhere, and I need to remind myself, like there's an incantation I need to say in my head that I know I can add value. I know I will be able to serve. And in such cases, it's very easy because it's free. But imagine when they pay me money, and that becomes a lot more difficult because, the most difficult time was when they only gave me 20 minutes, but they paid me a lot of money. That was the most frightening 20 minutes because I had to, if you give me an hour and a half, 5 hours, 20 hours, no problem. I'll talk and talk and talk and talk, all good. I don't have to come prepared. I can just talk, Put me on a stage right now in front of whatever amount of people, no problem. But when it comes to 20 minutes and you got to deliver, that's difficult, which is why I created masterminds, because in masterminds, all of my masterminds are based on numerology. And they're based on algorithms that human beings have not followed any algorithms when it comes to networking. Most human beings have no methodology to network. They have no strategy to network. They think they do because they followed someone or they modeled someone. Most meetings don't have an algorithm to them. And I've looked into and listened to, probably 100+ books about algorithms and meetings and how to run an efficient meetings within government officials, or if you have 7 billionaires that don't like each other, how do you get them to talk to each other, or kids or adults, or entrepreneurs, whatever it is. I've done hundreds and hundreds of masterminds around the world, and algorithms allowing someone to speak for a period of time in a very specific manner about the subject allows people to build trust, to be vulnerable, to feel valuable, to add value, which is why I'm constantly launching masterminds around the world, helping others. I love helping others launch masterminds around the world because it allows people to say, well, we have 7 of us or 8 of us or whatever, and we have 1 hour. How much can we accomplish? And I can guarantee this to everyone online, and you. I can give an algorithm to any size group of people in a specific period of time. They have 90 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever, 10 minutes, whatever it is, that will be more effective and more from the heart and more trust building than anyone in the world. That I have studied. And I have algorithms if you're one-on-one coaching session, or if you're a man and a woman and you want to go deep and you want to have a deep from the heart sharing session and you want to take it into a master heart where you're truly mastering the way you are opening up your heart, and there's a way, because networking is really opening up this magnet and then it's all good. If this is open, it's like a magnet. Everybody will come to you. You attract everyone. It's like, it radiates this light. But if the other person's heart is completely closed, your heart will not work, because you need other people's heart to be a little bit open, or you need to learn how to open it up. And that's where, being a charmer, you learn how to charm people from networking, and you learn how to, make someone laugh, or you learn body language a little bit, like, come on, and boom, heart opens up a little bit. No, but you need to learn all these things, because networking is that complex, which is why I said to you, I want more people to study it. Whether you study it from me or not, I don't care. Google it and listen to 100 books. Like, study human networking, not just networking. If you Google networking, it's mostly computers, which is messed up. We're allowing computers to network better than we are, which is my only fear with the metaverse, that computers will end up networking much better than we do. We need to constantly evolve in the way we network as humans. That is the only race, in my opinion. If we want to win the race against robots, which I'm not really worried that robots will take over the world, but they will take over if they network more creatively than we do. They will never have a heart. They will never be able to network like we do. They can connect faster, but we will be able to always network more from the heart and more creatively. So join the mastermind, launch a mastermind, connect with people, activate the collective genius, wake up the heart around you.
Gil,
How can people get, you go.
Gil, I have to share something with you.
Please.
When you serve someone, you actually serve yourself. So the pleasure is the more we help each other, we're helping ourselves. And that's the universal aspect of it. I mean, I assume you're from Israel. So you have studied the Kabbalah. Well, maybe
Not everyone in Israel studies the Kabbalah, but I did show a lot of interest in those
okay,
books.
so you may want to look into it. There's no accident that we're sitting here tonight. Today is the 17th. Well, your name is not by accident, Gil.
All right. He's taking it deep. He's taking it deep.
Hey, you can talk to me anytime. And I want to meet up with you again because it is our intention to come up to Masons. We've already been trying to get a room up there, so it's already fully booked or what have you. So may you can recommend something nearby.
I actually fully booked the whole place myself the night before.
You see, here we go.
I can find a room for you.
Okay, so we're really looking to go up there. So you're the one who booked it all out. So we are intending to be up there either on Sunday to Monday, at least for one night, or come up there on Saturday and leave on Sunday night or something like that. So maybe
Outstanding.
you can discuss it later on. Unfortunately, I need to leave, but my friend Erhard will stay on a little bit longer.
Thank you.
I enjoy talking to you. I mean, it's definitely very, very refreshing.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. You also left early last time. Don't leave so early next time. Remember, SpeakuP Monday start at 6 for networking purposes. They go live at 6:30. Networking starts at 8 o'clock with free complimentary drinks, infused water. Infused. Thank you.
I love it. So any more questions to anybody?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, one second, but let's just get your microphone, please. Yeah. No, but...
I want to hear you online. Come a little closer.
Go. Yeah, but remember, so that therefore we can pick you up on the camera.
We got all those amazing souls online that want to know what your question is.
All right. Thank you for the time. I like your speak. Really inspiring me. This first time I sit here. I know Rob for 1.5 years as well. And really inspiring me right now. One question. Be human being, networking, passion, or one else is, I forgot in my book. So human being, networking, idealism, or passion. So which the most important for you? But if all of them connection, how it's working. Really interesting me about one word what you say about neurologic thing. It's more powerful than algorithm. I'm really agree about it. So
I don't think there's one word that's more important than all, but I would say if I had to sum them all up in one word, it would be resourcefulness. Resourcefulness is understanding that we have plenty of resource inside of us. We have all the answers in the world. We have all the energy we ever need. You know, people say that they don't need food, they don't need water. They you know, some people are breatharians. They live on air. There's some people that don't sleep ever. So apparently, as humans, we have all the resource inside of us. Everything we have is around us, in my opinion. So being resourceful, it's being able to be resourceful, and that activates passion. Being resourceful can show people around you that you want to bring them closer. Being resourceful is willing to go outside of your network and go into someone else's network and then build another network. You know, I love that I don't have one group of friends. I have these different groups out there of people that I can call friends, and some are very close to me, and some I've even asked for money before. That's being resourceful. Being able to ask a friend for money, it's not easy. It's really, really, really not easy. But that's being resourceful. You know, being able to ask someone for advice, for help, it's being resourceful. Being helpful to someone, you know, giving your neighbor some, you know, eggs and flour. Well, if you're vegan, not eggs. Tempeh. Giving your neighbor some tempeh and some, you know, I don't know, something else, you know, some rice milk, you know, that's nice. That's being resourceful. You know, I wish my neighbors came to my house more often and asked me for help. Really, I wish. I really, really wish. I wish they were more. I invite my neighbors all the time for things. They never invite me for anything. I hope they're not listening. They never invite me for anything. That doesn't stop me from inviting them again. Yeah, so being resourceful is not giving up on someone. It's knowing that your network will continue to flourish. The passion goes up and down. You can break up a relationship with a man or a woman and lose passion in life. You could be stabbed in the back in business. I've had to be twice in business and lose all passion for business. No, but it could wake you up again. You can lose passion and interest in humanity because you see it like someone bad human being doing something bad. It's not a bad human being, they're just doing something bad. You could choose to lose hope, but I find if you always come back to the resourcefulness inside of you, yes, I can, I still have hands. I'm thankful for my hands every morning. I'm very, very happy that I have hands every morning. You know, I'm very happy that I can walk and I could breathe, and I'm happy that I could do things. And that's being resourceful as well, being able to just appreciate and show gratitude to what has already been given to you. Like, think about how much has been given to us. Yeah? Just consider just saying thank you for a few more things, and everything you've mentioned that you've written down, it's just going to come back and back and back, and it's going to grow and grow and grow. Good luck with that, brother.
Beautiful. All right. Any more questions? Probably the wrong question to ask, because there's always more questions, right?
So many hands. Okay, not now, everyone. Later on, we'll get all of your questions answered. Stayed everyone online. We love you. Wait with all your questions. Send me your questions. You know, I tell you what, everyone who's listening online, you send me your questions today. I will answer them within 48 hours. All of them I will answer, but you have to mention this guy's name. Okay, so I know it came from you. Yeah? And if you mention this guy's name and you compliment him in any way, I'll identify one of the gifts I have. I have a few really, really cool gifts about networking. I'll give you guys a gift for free. Something that's valuable. Not you guys offline. Your gift is a hug with me. Actually, I'm a little bit sweaty, so no hugs. Your gift is we'll do some facilitated networking here offline if you stay. I promise. I'll show you a couple of tricks. Yeah, but everyone online who's listening, gift from me if they compliment you. Does that work?
Works. It works. It works. Thank you, my brother.
And if you want to join any of my masterminds, please, my favorite mastermind right now is called Go Global Mastermind. It's helping people take their mindset globally, their family globally, their business globally, whether it's a mindset, whether it's a physical business, whether it's scaling the business, whether it's finding investors or strategic partners globally. That is my biggest focus for the last couple of years, and we're having amazing people join it. So if you're interested, write me.
Cool. So Go Global.
Go Global Mastermind, just taking people globally. We got to network globally, so why not go global?
Love it. Love it. Yeah.
Stand-up what?
Experience. Never on stand-up, just
Stand-up comedy? No. You know why? I don't remember any jokes. If you say to me, Gil, tell me a joke right now, I cannot. I cannot tell you a joke. But I do try to make people laugh sometimes. Yeah, no, so I guarantee I'll make you laugh. Ask my wife, I make her laugh all the time. I like making people laugh. No, but there is no way I'm going to go to stand-up comedy. Because you know why? You have to prepare. A lot of comedians, for years, they need to prepare themselves to get up on stage. And for me, it's always been very difficult to prepare to give a speech. Extremely difficult. And something I learned from Eckhart Tolle, I don't know if you guys know Eckhart Tolle, he wrote the book The Power of Now. I spent a lot of time, physical time, with Eckhart Tolle a few years back. And when we were walking down in Moscow on Tverskaya Street, it was nice and cold. And I tell him, Eckhart, how are you preparing for tomorrow's speech? And he's like, what do you mean? I was like, well, you know, you give all these speeches. How do you prepare? He's like, I don't prepare. He's like, I'm just in the now. Like, that was like seriously what he said to me. He's like, okay, tell me more. That's not enough, Eckhart. Tell me more. He's like, well, you know, he's like, and he really told me that he doesn't prepare because he finds it easier to just download and be in flow. And I've learned that I prepare a presentation for you as an audience to keep track of where I am, because the presentation is in back of me. I can be in flow based on your question, based on who you are. I can speak right now for the next 10 hours, nonstop, no bathroom breaks. Well, maybe bathroom break depending on water. As long as I have water, I can be in flow. So the idea of stand-up comedy actually scares me, because you gotta I gotta constantly make you laugh. I don't want to make you laugh. I want to add value. I want to serve you. I want to help you sit straight. I want to help inspire you. I want to help you make notes. I want to help you step out of your comfort zone.
Love that, man. Just keep on pulling them back, pulling them back, and pulling them out. Love it. So what we're going to do is this, guys. So we're going to close this particular part of it now. So the way we do this, Brother G, as you remember, is that in about 45 seconds, I'm going to bring it back to you to leave us something which you'd like to close with. And it could be reiterating something that you said already, or it might be something that just drops in flow. You know how it rolls. Everybody else, so we're here every Monday, right? 6 o'clock arrive, 6:30 we go live. Next week is Tarek Kalusi, who's an incredible networker, beautiful human being. So he'll be here interviewed by Bhavna. So Bhavna Parihar will be back next week, and she's amazing, as you know, ladies. So make sure you come. And what else can I say? Join the SpeakuP Monday community, Facebook, SpeakuP one word Monday group, or on Instagram as well. And YouTube, you'll find all of these, I think the last 120 interviews that we've done here at Tropical Nomad, you'll find them there. So thank you to the team, Ichi, Bella, Guzman, and Ayub sitting over there. There you go. Love you guys. Thank you so much for giving us the opportunity. Audience, in-house, remember you can join them. Thank you very much indeed for coming. I know you got incredible value, and we'll get even more once we switch these cameras off, and that's why you have to come in future. And finally, Brother G, it's always a pleasure just to sit down and hang out with you, my man, and you never disappoint. Love you, my brother, and I'll leave it to you to see us out.
So, closing words. So remember to be curious. Really remember to show curiosity in other human beings, because humans are really amazing. I've learned that because I never really liked flipping through books because it was not easy for me, I started looking at humans in books. And when you meet a human being, all you're getting is a fraction of a page in a very, very long history of a book. So if you're not curious enough, you will never get to know the past chapters. You'll never get to know anything about them. And what curiosity helps me with is I'm always interested in someone's future. So when you get to know someone, when you're meeting someone the first time or the second time or third time or whatever, show curiosity not as much as where they come from, but show curiosity into their future. Because in most cases in networking, people are constantly speaking about the past or the present moment. The past is not as interesting in the beginning of the conversation with someone. It's not as important. The future, where they're going, where they're heading, what they're building, what's coming up for you, what are you currently working on that's most exciting for you, what are you trying to aim or achieve, or what are your goals for the next 3 months, are the most powerful conversations that will get someone else out of their shell. It would also allow you to show curiosity, to add value, to serve, and it will allow you to really connect. So have fun being curious in other human beings, and remember to follow up. Thank you, brother.
My brother.